Hey guys, it's goyangi here, and apparently, once you're classified in a category, there's more categories to discover. Hello, Enneagrams. Okay, so Enneagrams are systems that represents the spectrum of possible personality types. You've all probably taken one of these once or twice in your life. They look like this, or this, or this. So, the most popular Enneagram that INTJs relate to are 5 wing 4, 5 wing 6, and 6 wing 5. And the least common ones are 1 wing 2, 8 wing 7, 3 wing 4, and my type 1 wing 9. If this all is a little bit confusing, then I would suggest reading it up a little bit. Just kidding. I'll give you a brief rundown of basics of what this Enneagram is. So Enneagrams are split into 3 groups. One is thinking, second one is heart, third one is gut. And the number before the word wing represents your overall personality. For example, mine is 1, which means I'm a reformer. And the number after the word wing represents the complementary second side of your personality. So mine is 9, meaning Peacemaker. Now, okay, although it sounds ironic, before I go any further, I always encourage people, and myself of course, not to let all these categories influence your personality. Number 1 rule: nothing is ever binding. No categories are binding on who you are, and the only thing that dictates who you should be is you. Okay, let's begin. Being a 1 wing 9 is to be a perfectionist, and that's highly true for me. I am definitely a person who expects perfection from within myself, and therefore self-control is very important, but it's equally just as important to realize that letting your hair down once in a while is healthy. Anyways, so I want perfection in myself and in others too. However, I've learned to mellow out and not become too disgusted when people are not perfect in their logic or reasoning or behavior. So pushing this perfectionist expectations away from other people. Personally, I always feel the need to fix my environment and the people around me. Fix as in helping the people around me to be the best versions of themselves. And with this, the things I say or the things that I ask may be hard for some people to hear and to answer, because I tend to tap into people's fears and subconsciousness. In a metaphorical sense, I grab people by the throat and ask them, "What are you running away from?" Creepy, right? You know, those kind of questions. So when I dig deep into topics that people don't want to hear or think about, I probably come across as being brash, unsympathetic, and very probing. Rolling from that, being a peacemaker means, to me, is achieving peace with myself as well as others. And you can't achieve inner peace when you run away from what you're afraid of, because you're just not tackling yourself and you're not accepting yourself. And as I said earlier, it's not just maintaining peace with myself, it's maintaining peace within my groups of friends or any other relationship circle. Maintaining peace is pretty natural for me. It's not something that I have to think about because my personality is pretty reserved. Whenever a confrontation arises in, for example, my friendship group, I don't pick sides because I can just remain emotionally neutral. Instead, I analyze the situation and I want to understand in order to help both parties. So this peacemaker side of me intertwines pretty nicely with my reformer overall personality, because in helping people to dig up their values and morals actually helps them to do the right thing, whereby in this case is to have an open communication session without judgment. I just think that with most things, communication is so important, it's unbelievable. You know how many problems can be solved just by listening and understanding where each person are coming from? There's one thing that I've learned is that the best way to unarm an enemy is by listening to them. Anyways, 1-wing 9 females in particular tend to emphasize with the emotions and feelings, as well as showing the feelings a little bit more, depending on the person, or when they are comfortable. So when this side of us comes out, it boosts our conscientiousness and authenticity even more, because we want you to actually feel our emotions and we want you to know how we are feeling. I find that it's important to be vulnerable to your emotions, because sometimes being vulnerable can link to happiness. I mean, it's confusing as hell at first, but when you learn to embrace all these feels, it feels like an improvement. And all this is important for the INTJ growth mindset, especially for 1-wing 9, because we're so improvement orientated whenever we want to be amazing. Our growth mindset will be on full blast. Basically, we want to be perfect for you and for us. But there's a downside to this, because we'll start to be really self-critical and then start juggling several self-improvement related things. And sometimes we don't know when to stop. And it's important to know that imperfection is freedom in itself. Sometimes, I get it, we want to be this and that, or to have this and that. And this mentality of the grass is always greener on the other side pops up. And this can leave us deflated. The one way that I remind myself to stop all this negativity is that, sure, the grass is sometimes going to be greener on the other side, but if you water your side with commitment and experiences, then your grass probably looks just as sexy as someone else's. Heck, other people might just think your grass is greener than theirs. Anyways, 1-wing 9 INTJs will push you to be your best. Even if we have our own problems, we just prefer to not let you stumble in life whilst we ourselves do. But hey, we'll always land on our feet sooner or later. Some INTJs don't relate to how the internet portrays the INTJ as not understanding how relationship works and how clueless they are, because for 1-wing 9 INTJs, or me especially, I am well versed in people's actions and motives. I can easily tell what someone is feeling or thinking just by the way they move their body and how they look at someone or how they're touching someone. It's almost as if I have a sixth sense for this kind of thing. I can tell when someone's flirting or when someone is feeling negative or sad. I can tell it in the voice and I can tell it in the atmosphere. And sometimes I do want to be clueless because I pick up on all these minor details and it's information that I sometimes don't want to acknowledge. I guess all these years of people watching and encountering different people as well as being heavily interested in psychology, all these influences how I pick up information. I guess I want to hear you and to understand you for who you really are, with this aspect in mind. One-winged 9 INTJs probably seem like the most friendliest INTJs that you'll meet. We probably seem more social, providing that we are healthy INTJs, because the unhealthy side of us just tends to make us struggle with balancing interaction with the outside world as well as having a hermit lifestyle. As mentioned, we seem more social because our extroverted side is a little bit more advanced. We probably crave human interaction more than the average INTJ. And interesting side note, we rely on this extroverted side of us to turn our ideas into realities, because we constantly like to conjure up ways as to how to improve the world in our own way. And on our journey of improving the world, self-improvement is important without being corrupted by society, even if we are very receptive to our surroundings. Ironically, any whiff of us having a chance of being corrupted by whatever will go the opposite direction. Personally, I hate corruption. I just want to be my own person, and peer pressure doesn't work on me, so if somehow the whole world was driving red cars, I'll be the one to drive the blue one. I'm not sure if this is out of the blue, but like most people, I guess I want purpose in life, no matter how small or big this purpose might be. I'm being the person that I am. I want to meet my true potential. But you know, that's hard in a sense that trying different things might amount to nothing in the end. But no one really knows the outcome of what anything really is. So you just choose what's right during that moment for you. And I don't just want to get by life just to die. I mean, death is inevitable, but I guess this mentality makes me even more starry-eyed because of all the possibilities. But with this, it's common to worry about the lack of security and inner peace when you or I become stuck in life. Okay guys, that's it for another video. Hope you've enjoyed it and see you in the next video. Catch you all later. Bye!